Do you remember the first time we met?
I don't know, like the exact first time we met, but I remember for the most part, yes.
Okay, what do you remember? Because I know my version of it. I'm curious.
I know.
What
I
do you
think
remember?
I don't. I feel like your version was when we were trying to go to the Impact conference.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like I met you before that. But
I
I don't
probably
know.
did meet you before that.
Okay,
I just
yeah.
don't
So I know
remember.
we met through the Bible study on campus.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how. I just knew we were trying to go to Atlanta. We were in Denton, Texas, at the University of North Texas. Our Bible study group was trying to go to the conference in Atlanta, and I didn't have the money. I was me, you, and I want to say Vanger. Was it me, you, Vanger?
I can't remember. It
I
might
don't
have
know,
been.
but I just remember us like we were going. I was asking people that I knew, reaching back like, "Hey, I'm trying to go to this conference. Come get some money." And somehow we were out on the streets trying to find money to go to this conference.
Holding up signs.
Yes.
Like Will raising money for mission trip.
I
or
don't even
whatever,
remember how that
conference.
happened, but I just remember that was the start of it, of us meeting.
What do you remember your first impression of me?
What was my first impression of you?
Loud. I don't know if I was loud.
I don't think I thought you was loud. I was like, oh, he was what was funny was my only prayer for I remember praying of who, Lord, I just want somebody who can lead me and is tall, skinny, and wear hoops. Don't know how that was my random prayer. And I was like, oh, he might fit that description. I don't know. But what was funny was not knowing at the time. I didn't know till later that you weren't even a believer yet. You became a believer on that conference.
Yeah.
But I would never known. I didn't even know like until later, way past that conference, that you didn't know anybody. You just fit right in. Just thought you were, But yeah, I just remember that. I remember you were not. You were energetic, but you weren't like over the top, like So I didn't think you were.
I think I wasn't trying to show
all,
off as much around the Christians. I was 18. I was trying to learn. So your first impression was like, oh, maybe I was date worthy.
Yeah,
Word.
I guess. Well, no, I don't know. This is
Okay.
your first. I don't know if I knew that because I didn't know you like that. But I was like, well, he's cute. He's tall. He's at the Bible. He's at the Bible study. So I don't know, maybe, but clearly,
That is funny.
We didn't get together till way later. So
The hoops is crazy because
the hoops was funny. I don't know what that was. I just wanted somebody to be taller than me in heels, skinny, or well, not skinny, but tall. I guess
Slender.
basketball shape. I thought basketball.
Yeah.
Physique and hoops. I figured basketball because they'd probably be taller than me.
That is funny. This is the first time I done heard the hoops part.
That is stuff for real.
Yeah, I don't remember
funny.
hearing that.
Yeah.
My first impression of you was, I thought you were cute. I thought you were lively. Like you was a ball of energy. You know, get it crunk, get it crunk.
I was definitely that. That's why I probably wouldn't think you were loud because I'm like I was
That's
already
true.
loud enough.
Yeah, you was a ball of energy, and I thought you were cute. But there was.
But he thought I
something-
was homely.
That's later.
Okay.
That's later. I did think you were homely, but that's after I started to debate if we should date or not. Then I was like weighing my options. But when I first met you, I thought you were cute. I just thought I knew I wasn't a Christian. I guess I was like, I didn't know Christian was like a heart change. I thought it was like a choice. Like, oh yeah, I guess I'll decide to be Christian today. I didn't know it was like a transformation. So I was like, I'm not that serious about God as she is. So in my brain, I was just thinking, she's too serious about God for me. That's kind of what I thought about all y'all, if I'm being honest. But when I saw you, that was my thought process, was too serious about God. So I just was like, And I was experimenting. I didn't really know what I was looking for. So I didn't know what I was searching. What made you join the campus Bible study?
Oh, because I knew right away I was gonna gravitate to what was biblical. So I sought out the choir, the gospel choir, the Bible study, but that's where that foundation of growing up in church. I still went through my stuff in college, but I knew that foundationally, this is where I needed the Lord, and I know I needed to seek out things. So that's how I was immediately.
Yeah, the thing that sticks out to me is you was doing the women's program, which is this Bible study at this church in Denton, and I don't know how many girls are in your class, maybe 25 or something like that. And out of them 25, there was only 2 black girls.
Yep, there's only 2 of us.
And you are very soulful. So you're not like the typical black girl that you would imagine to just be hanging out with a whole bunch of other white young ladies.
Mm-hmm.
So my brain was trying to figure it out because you was like, whatever, girl, la, la, la. But then you like hanging out with Becky and Sarah, and my brain couldn't understand. Like, why was you just okay with being in an environment that was completely different than what you grew up in?
Something in me, I don't know what that is. I always like being different. I always like different. Yeah. And I didn't care. It was like either you accept me for who I am or you don't. And I'm just like, hey, I'm interested in it. I'm gonna check into it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And if I wanted to do it, I would try it.
And so
I didn't care about whether it was majority this or majority that or
yeah.
It didn't matter.
Like you didn't just not care. You went all in. Like you lived with these girls. You like these became your buddies. It was super strange to me because I was just like.
But I also, it wasn't to me though because I also where I grew up at the time, my high school was predominantly white. Like we had, it wasn't. By the time it ended, there was more and more people being that were came into the school.
Your high school is hood now.
Maybe. But it's definitely not the same as it was when I was there. But that gave me, so when I went off to school, I just felt like there was a bigger version of my high school. So it was like, I'm not uncomfortable around other races. Mm-hmm. So to me, it was like, okay, like this was just an extension of what I've already been going through.
Did you feel like they accepted you, or was it weird ever for you, or did they treat you different? Who? Being in
college or
in college?
Okay, so my personality, I don't really give people time to really. I just, right. I just do. I am just me, and I'm not thinking about whether you. I'm sure I do. I am very observant, so I do think about things, but I'm not. I don't think through that. I just go. Mm-hmm. So
I want to learn about God. I'm just gonna join this group.
Yeah, like this is. I know this is. Biblically sound, and I want to grow, so I'm gonna do it. So.
Yeah.
What that mean? Anyway, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. What was you about to say?
I kind of forgot. What was your question again?
Okay, don't worry about it. It's fine. This is what it's like at home.
Yep.
No. Okay. I'm curious because we were talking to somebody the other day. I can't remember who we were talking to. I don't know who we were having a conversation with, but you said that I used to evangelate. I had a women's ministry.
Yep.
Okay. Break down what that looked like from your perspective.
Okay, so those who don't know, we were friends for 8 years before we actually got together. Mm-hmm. So during those 8 years, I would have crushes on you off and on. But it was very just nothing I really thought was ever going to come out of it. So you date people, I date people. So we would see what was going on. We were friends the whole time, but nothing more than that. So in that, I would see, all of us in the ministry would see that, if you would date someone new that wasn't part of the ministry, they would come, you would introduce them because you want them to grow in the Lord too.
Yeah.
But next thing you know, y'all broke up and the women stayed. And so there were several people that came a part of the ministry from dating you.
So
we called you the evangelator.
What did y'all think of that? What was people's perspective? Do you remember what they thought?
You was the evangelator.
Was it like a negative thing, or was people like I don't know? I'm just curious what that.
I don't know. It was. If I think back on it, I don't know if it was necessarily a negative thing because most of the girls stayed, and it was like, hey, they're stayed. They want to grow in the Lord, so I guess that part was good. But are you hurt? Like, are these girls? Are you hurting these girls? Like, what is So more in that part, it's like, okay, just be careful. I think it was more just like, just be careful with maybe, are you hurting these ladies or, like different things like that. But they stayed around for, and
I was young.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. So the funny part about that is, from my vantage point, it was like, this was the most solid ministry, campus ministry, young adult ministry. And I was like, if somebody could be a part of this, they'll grow. So I wanted them to be integrated because this is my community, my family, but I had jumped the gun in dating them, so I didn't know to both guard my heart, guard their heart. It'd just be like, you love God, I love God. Or you kind of say you love God, but I don't know. But you'll know better if you become a part of this. Mm-hmm. But
I think that we saw that, and I think it was like we just saw you as it's just Lecrae, because then you would be around, then you'd be gone, then you'd be back, then you'd be gone, then you'd be back, and so it was just kind of like that's Lecrae.
I remember though before we started dating, well, as when we were dating, right? So first of all, our dating process was weird. That's a whole nother conversation. But when we started dating, I remember one of the campus leaders, James, came up to me and he said, "Do not break her heart. Do not break her heart." And it was the first time I felt like, oh shoot, I cannot break up with this one. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like everybody was watching me. Like, you keep on bringing these girls around, dating them, and then being like, I'm good. Don't do that this time. Don't date her unless you're serious. So,
because I want to say, I was probably, if I'm not mistaken, I probably was the first one that you actually dated that you didn't bring in.
right. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is true.
But so even then, I knew, I was like, if he approaches me, he knows like,
Yep.
I have too many brothers out here and sisters that will be like, so I knew that you had to be pretty serious. Like all these years if you hadn't, and once we did, I was like, he's gonna have to be. Yeah.
For you, I always tell my version of the story about how we met. And my version is, I always thought you were cute. I saw you, but I was very what's the word?
Picky.
Picky. What's the word when you like superficial?
Yes.
I was very superficial.
Yeah.
So it was like I wanted to love the Lord, but then I also wanted to be like, she got a little sauce. She a little, you wasn't hood, but I thought you were, because you grew up going to church in the hood. Your family members is a little soulful. I'm just say soulful, but so I was like, she got to be like a little urban twist to it. But you just were not like I'm about to put on my best outfit and step out. You were like and even to this day, you see college students and they go to class just like, whatever, I'm just here to get my education and get up out of here. And that's kind of how I felt about you in school. Like you just like, I was like, man, she would be bad if she just X, Y, Z. But I wasn't going to say that to you. And then one day, was it Gina's wedding? Whose wedding was you? Tarinthia. One day you were going to one of your friends' wedding. And I saw you with your hair done and your nails done, about to go to the wedding. I was like, shoot. I said, if she could do that on a regular, it's all good. So that's what made me say, yeah, I got to make that move. Because I saw you in a superficial light at that period of time. I knew your heart was right. We was already good friends. But which ended up being probably the best thing for us, is that we were good friends. But that's kind of my version of it. When do you feel like it got serious?
What?
Like us dating. Like it was like, oh, this is real. Because I mean, it really was from the jump, I guess. But
I guess it depends what you mean by real. I don't know what you mean by real, because I feel like I feel like because we went through our process was fast, but we went through I guess I would say, I remember when we had that sit down, I had that, we were basically trying to see if we were going to like, okay, are we going to just end this or pursue this? Because it felt like, it wasn't that you was trying to make me somebody that I wasn't, but because you had such particular standards and things and just whatever it was, it started making me uncomfortable. There was a period of uncomfortableness, and I felt like that was I didn't realize it, but I guess you were seeing it, and it was making it hard for us to have conversations. It was something like that. I don't know, but I remember sitting down. I don't even remember the conversation and what was said totally, but I think I was like, I don't feel like I can always be myself. It felt like you kept wanting me to be something else that I was not, and it was like, and that was putting up a wall. And I just remember us having a conversation, and that wall came down, and I just felt free to be me. And it wasn't that I even felt I was trying to be something else. I just felt like you were wanting something else. I don't remember. Maybe you do. But I just remember a wall coming down then, and then we were like, okay, we can do this. Okay.
Because we didn't date. We weren't like daters. It was like, hey, if I'm going to date you, like, I'm dating you with the intention to marry you. And that was our conversation was like, I'm dating you with the intention to marry you. So I don't want to just date you to see if I like you. I know you already, which I think was dope. But then it turned into, okay, we hitting a couple bumps in the road.
Yeah, and it was like walls were building up.
Right.
And then,
so now what? And I don't remember how we got through that.
I remember, and all I remember is being at a restaurant, having this conversation, and something was said in that conversation where I just finally felt you communicated something in a way that made me feel like, okay, that's not what he's doing, or that's not what it is, or that's not what he's, even if you were, you didn't want that, but something made that wall come down, and I just felt like we were just able to just have a conversation freely and just be. But I don't remember the ins and outs of that conversation.
I never asked you this before. Did you feel like God, I don't know, like, were you praying about us, or were you like what was your conversations with God like during this time?
So I definitely feel like it was, I feel like definitely looking back, I just felt like I could always see God's hand on my life and just guiding me through my life, looking back on it. Not necessarily thinking it at the time, but always seeing that. And I felt the same way with this. It's just like I was saying earlier, how we knew each other for 8 years. Never dated, never even knew. We were good friends. We would hang out just with each other, but it never felt like we were dating or anything. I always felt like friendships. And through that, knowing I would have crushes on you on and off. I'm telling Vanja, I got a crush on him again. And all that, telling my best friend, but then you'll be dating somebody, then I'll be dating somebody, and it was, nothing ever came of it. But I remember this one particular time, I was finally like, okay, Lord, I didn't even say anything to Vanja. I was just like, okay, Lord, I want this feeling to go away. I was like, I just want to see him as my brother. If this is not what you have, if this is not what you want, I should not have these feelings. I truly want to just see him as my brother in Christ. And I remember having that prayer, and literally, not even probably days after that prayer was when I went with y'all to that. I went with you to a concert. We drove to one of your concerts, and came back, and you were like, it was late, and you texted me, and you was like, hey, I think we need to have a talk.
Is that when I got you to Dr. Pepper?
Yes. So, okay, I can go to that. I can do that story if you want me to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing about Lecrae, even though he was an adventure dater, he wasn't flirty. To me, you never a flirty person. A lot of girls liked you, but I never saw you as a flirty person. And I remember, I think it was me, you, and maybe Tadashi, I don't know, and one of the guys that you were Jamie, I think it was Jamie. We were coming back from the concert, and I helped y'all sell merch, and I was driving. I remember you going to the gas station, and you just came back with some Dr. Peppers and cashews, and I was like, you asked me if I want anything. I was like, no, I don't want anything. And then you came back with Dr. Pepper and cashews, and I was like, oh, whoa, that's weird. Those are two of my favorite things. And I was like, thank you. And then we got back to y'all's place, and I think my car was there, and we had somebody went in, and anyway, I just started, it was a couple of things. I started feeling like little bitty things of flirting, and I was like, is he flirting with me? And that might have been when I was like, I had that prayer, and I was like, okay, Lord, I don't, and you've never been flirty with me, so I didn't even really know what it was. I was like, I was like, that's weird. I don't know what's happening.
With the Dr. Pepper and the cashews.
There you go. And so anyway, what was your question?
That just basically like you felt like the Lord's hand was guiding you in this, and that was
with
But then that was the Dr. Pepper moment. That's
no,
what I
it was something. It was something else. I was going somewhere with that. What did you asked me?
I wasn't flirty. I wasn't. Oh, that's when that night is when I came home and I hollered at you.
You're saying that I ever have? Yes, because I had prayed that prayer, and I was like, okay, Lord, I don't want to see him like this. And I remember I wasn't telling anybody. I was like, I'm for real. Like I just want to see him as my brother.
Yeah.
And you sent that text, and I was like, you was like, can we meet tomorrow? I feel like we need to have a convo. And I remember in the past, something you've told me. Well, let me rewind. I text you back, and I was like, yep, and I'm available now, because I was not trying to wait till tomorrow to have some conversation to figure out what you were about to say. And so we had the conversation. You called, and we started talking, and I should have known then that this is going to be, you had a whole bunch of analogies that you were giving me in this conversation. And I remember having all these thoughts. I was like, okay, he likes me. He doesn't like me. He thinks I like him, but he doesn't like me. It was all kind of things going on in my head. Cause I remember you telling me in the past, if a girl ever liked you and you didn't, you would tell her like, hey, this isn't really, it's not going
I don't want to lead you on.
Yeah. And you told me that. You had told me that before. And so I was like, maybe that's what is happening right now. And then, I told you, yep, I don't know what you're trying to communicate. And you ended up letting me know that you wanted to
date you with the intentions of
courting. Yeah.
Yeah.
To marriage.
Like to marriage.
Yeah.